Alright, welcome back once again, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wrestling Rant. It's Friday, and SmackDown just ended. Again, I was at work, so I missed the first, say, half an hour, I think, of SmackDown. But I only missed all of one match. I did happen to miss part of the second match. I don't know if there were any backstage segments that I missed, but I doubt it. SmackDown has been really recap heavy lately, so I'm guessing that's pretty much all that I missed besides that. But anyways, the first match was Santino Marella versus Fandango again. Again, I didn't see it, so I'm not sure who won, but I'm gonna guess it was Fandango. Can't imagine them having him job to a piece of crap like Santino. But anyways. The next match was Kofi Kingston versus Wade Barrett again. And for the third time in a row, Kofi wins. Now this match I actually did see, or at least part of it. I saw the ending. Barrett got Kofi up for... It looked like Sheamus's white noise, or the what's known as the Emerald Flosion, basically. It was either that or it was a cross between that and the just a regular like Samoan drop. But he slams him down, and then he kind of sits there and he holds his arm out. He's like, "Yeah, I'm Wade Barrett." Oh, he's you know. But Kofi grabs his arms and gets him in like a crucifix pin. And he beats him. Because Barrett's an idiot who doesn't know how to frickin', celebrate after you win, dumbass. But anyways, Kofi cinches him up and he beats him. And then he rolls his goofy ass out of the ring because Barrett's pissed. And Barrett basically chases him out of the ring. But Kofi gets away. Weak, pathetic, lame match. I don't like either one of these guys, so it doesn't matter. Fuck them both. After that, we got Jack Swagger versus Del Rio once again. And for the third time in a row, Del Rio wins. Swagger can't beat the guy with a bum leg. It's pathetic at this point. Swagger, Del Rio, and Dolph Ziggler are supposed to be in a triple threat match, and I'm pretty sure they said that it's going to be at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view, which is the next pay-per-view coming up. This is supposed to be a triple threat because since Swagger beat Dolph on SmackDown last week... Yeah, but you know what? Swagger might have beaten Dolph, but I think he got lucky. And he hasn't been able to beat Alberto Del Rio at all. So he couldn't beat him at WrestleMania. He couldn't beat him the night after. And he couldn't beat him now. Really, really weak. Just weak. After that, I believe there was a bunch of recapping and a bunch of video packages. Goofy crap. But we were then treated, and once again I'm doing air quotes around the word treated. We were treated to a backstage segment out in the parking lot. This was apparently from earlier in the day. You see Natalya along with the midget Hornswoggle and the guy with two left feet, friggin' Great Khali, showing up in their ugly little Fiat 500 Abarth piece of shit car. You see them rolling into the parking lot, and just as they're about to turn into a parking space, another car shoots in front of them and steals the space from them. Lo and behold, that car was driven by Rosa Mendez, and in it with her were Epico and Primo. So this sets up a match between the six of them. Ugh. Yeah, this match was freaking awful. Let's see. The only things of note was Rosa looked fantastic. She was wearing this little, I don't even know if it could be considered wrestling attire, but it was this little white, it looked like a dress, but it was like a one-piece dress. She looked amazing. But then again, she usually does, so I guess that's not too surprising. Her and Natalya got into it for a while, I think at the start of the match. So you got that, and then Natalya tags in Khali, and I don't remember who it was, Primo or Epico, that got in for the other team, but they start going at it. Hornswoggle never got tagged into the match, and I don't even know why he was even a part of the match. But he never got tagged in, but he did get involved, because the finish of the match comes when Rosa is up on the apron shaking her ass to distract Khali. She's up on the apron shaking her ass to distract Khali. And Hornswoggle comes over and grabs her leg. She turns around and yells at him and jumps down off the apron and chases him halfway around the ring. And as she's chasing Hornswoggle around the ring, Hornswoggle leads her right into Natalya, who discus clotheslines the fuck out of her, knocks her on her ass. And that gets rid of that. In the ring, we see, again, I don't remember if it was Epico or Primo, but he comes down off the top rope, I think, and gets caught by Khali, and Khali hits him with the Punjabi plunge, which is basically just a double-handed choke slam, and that's his finisher. So he lifts him up, slams him down, and that's match. And yeah, that was the finish. Pretty short, lame match, really not all that great. Primo and Epico are so much better than this. I don't know why they keep being lowered to jobbing to a midget and a guy with 2 left feet who can't wrestle. And all I can say about Natalya is, why does this girl not remember who and what she is? She's a member of the Hart family, for God's sake. She's so much better than this. She deserves better than this. Anyways, yeah, and actually, that was pretty much the last match besides our main event, which they showed some recapping of other crap, and one thing I forgot to mention before is earlier on in the night, after recapping the 2 times that Henry had jumped Sheamus backstage, they cut to backstage where Henry is about to be interviewed by their new backstage interviewer chick. I forget her name. But she's getting ready, she's getting ready to, or she is interviewing Henry, and he says something, I think, yeah, she asks him why, and he says, because I can, and that's what I do. Henry's never exactly been all that great with words, so. But yeah, after that, Sheamus tackles him and puts his ass through one of the catering tables, basically. So, yeah, but that was earlier on in the night. After the match with Rosa, Natalya, and all them other goofs, they announced this last week, Mark Henry and Big Show versus Randy and Sheamus. This match was alright, I guess. Not really all that great. But the finish of the match comes when Randy is about ready to hit the RKO on Big Show. Those two were the 2 legal men. Randy's coiled and ready to hit the RKO. Henry comes in from out of nowhere and runs over Randy, knocking him down. Sheamus comes in and tackles Henry, and they both fall out of the ring. Back in the ring, the distraction from Henry knocked Randy down long enough and gave Show enough time to recuperate from what he was selling. And he gets up, grabs Randy for the choke slam, and hits it, and that's match. So that was pretty much it. The only thing of note was, I think it was pretty much right before the finish happened. Big Show, I think, got tagged in, and he was getting in the ring. He has to step over the ropes because he's so big. He was halfway in. He had one leg in, and Randy grabs him and cinches him up for that big rope-hanging DDT that he likes to do. Even though Big Show already had one foot in the ring, he puts it back up on the top rope to help Randy do the frickin' big rope-hung DDT. I'm like, why would he do that? Anyways, yeah, I think that's actually what Big Show was selling, when Henry decided to flatline Randy and then get tackled by Sheamus, but whatever. All in all, SmackDown crap, as usual. Yeah, so I don't know, I'm starting to think that I might end up doing the same thing with SmackDown that I did with Raw, and wait until the next day or the day after when I can watch the whole show in its entirety, take maybe some better, more detailed notes, and do it a day or two later, maybe, I don't know. Because I keep having to stay at work until after SmackDown's already over, so, or not over, but till I've already missed like half an hour or more. But yeah, so, anyways, that was SmackDown. Not a whole lot to talk about. One thing I suppose I could talk about to kind of make up for time, because I'm pretty sure this has not been all that long yet, and I need to do some more grinding, but anyways, one thing I could talk about, I happened to see this week's episode of NXT, and one thing of note that I did see is they finally had a match with, I mentioned in the Divas video that I did that they had a Australian girl who does this goofy dance when she's on her way to the ring. They finally had a match with her on NXT. Her name is Emma. And the dancing is stupid. I don't know why. And apparently she's also a klutz. I saw a backstage interview with her. It wasn't on this week's episode of NXT. I think it was last week's. But they had a backstage interview of hers where she gets all snooty with the interviewer, and then as she's walking away, apparently she walks off screen, and then the interview goes, "Oh crap, are you alright?" Like she fell over or something. Like Ditzy Ho can't even stay on her feet, but whatever. She had a match with a girl... Crap, I can't even remember her name, but this is some girl that I'd never even heard of, and I'd never even seen her on the show, so either she was just some female jobber that they found, or this is just some girl that they haven't really established yet. But either way, she had a match with this chick, and I think she actually beat her. And, speaking of the Divas, they actually had a backstage interview with Paige, where she talked about Summer Rae running away a lot, which she does. And as she's cutting this promo, Summer comes out of nowhere and clocks her once with like a forearm shot. And apparently this was enough to completely wipe Paige out. I'm thinking Paige should, like, get up and maybe retaliate. I don't think that little forearm shot did enough to really lay her out. Whatever. So there was that. And then we had a match with actually a fairly decent match between the first match on the show. Actually was Justin Gabriel, who is supposed to be on the main roster already, but apparently they think he needs more developmental time. He's got to feel like shit. He's like, I already got up to the main roster. Why am I still in NXT? Anyways, but he goes up against one of the more promising people in NXT, and that's Leo Kruger. This is actually a feud that's been going on for a while now. I don't know how many freaking matches they've had on NXT. But Leo Kruger has won all of them, I think. Like, seriously. Kruger has been kicking Justin Gabriel's ass for the last couple of months. I don't know why they keep going with this, because it's obvious at this point that Gabriel's not going to win. But anyways, same ending here. Leo won. Like I said, the match was actually fairly good. It was back and forth. Leo won with a submission move. He had been working on... Well, actually, Gabriel had tried to work on Leo's arm half of the match. That didn't really go anywhere, although Kruger was selling it, so at least, you know, he's got better selling ability than frickin' John Cena. But anyways, I really need to stop bringing him up, and I know that's a bad habit, but I can't stand how little that pain in the ass sells. It's terrible. And those motherfuckers just recently compared him to Superman on their website. I'm like, yeah, the motherfucker is like Superman. Where can I find some kryptonite? Okay? Does Ryback have some of his kryptonite? Or does Kendra Lust have it? I don't know. But anyways, back to the match with Gabriel and Kruger. The finish of the match was... Gabriel was up on the top rope, trying to go for the 450. Kruger catches him, and he dropped him down onto the mat, and then he grabs his arm, and he's been doing this weird arm submission where he gets him in like a top... I can't even think of the move. It's a basic hold, but he kind of combines it with a camel clutch, kind of, because he rolls the guy over on his stomach and gets this arm submission wrenched in, and the way he's wrenching it, it like torques on the guy's abdomen, and since he had just slammed Gabriel down on his abdomen, that apparently weakened him up enough that Gabriel had to tap out. So... yeah, so that happened. And there was the thing with Paige and Summer Rae, and then there was the Divas match with Emma. And then... oh yeah, Bray Wyatt finally came back from injury and had a match against Yoshitatsu. It was very short and very crap, because... I wanted to call him Brodus Clay because he's just as much of a hoss and a joke. But Bray Wyatt, who, by the way, is one of the two sons of IRS, Mike Rotundo. Yeah. The other one is Bo Dallas, or Bo Rotundo. Yeah. Neither one of these guys are any good. IRS back in the day was a boring... guy with hardly any charisma. At least he could wrestle. And then they stuck him with the $1 Million Man as part of the Money Inc. tag team. You know what? That at least worked. You put the guy who can't talk with DiBiase, who was very good at talking, and also a damn good wrestler. That worked. But IRS's sons, Bo Dallas and Bray Wyatt. And Bray Wyatt is also formerly Husky Harris, who went friggin' nowhere after the... he was on one of the seasons of NXT. He was part of the Nexus for a while. He's a fat pant load with hardly any charisma or wrestling skills. And now they gave him this, like, Southern Louisiana cult leader gimmick. He has these two big ugly horses in his family. It's called the Wyatt family. And it's this really lame gimmick where he spouts a bunch of gibberish. He wins this match with Tatsu. Of course, it was a total squash match. And now I know why Johnny hasn't been doing his... Fandango hasn't been doing his one finisher that I talked about in one of the episodes, where it was basically the knocks out. That's because Wyatt is using that as his finisher now. It's the spinning mic check sort of move. Yeah. So yeah, he hits this on Tatsu and beats him. Tatsu's a joke jobber at this point, which is sad, because he's actually not a bad wrestler. He can't speak English all that well, being Japanese, but whatever. But he beats Tatsu, and then he starts to cut this promo. And again, the random gibberish, he's an idiot. He's got no charisma, he's got this long stringy hair, and he's got this big-ass gut. He looks like a pant load. He thinks he's badass. He thinks he's better than everyone. And I'm like, what is this? An interesting slant on the Who Better Than Canyon gimmick from several years ago? Because the answer's still the same. Frickin' everyone's better than you. Bray. Bra. But anyways, that came and went. The main event of this episode of NXT was... This is a match that had been announced last week. For some strange reason, Corey Graves... I don't know if you've heard of him, but in FCW he teamed with Jake Carter, Jake Carter is the son of Vader. So, yeah, so they were a tag team. They actually aren't too bad. And they were the FCW Tag Team Champions for a while. But Corey Graves, last week apparently the Shield attacked 3... Oh yeah, it was supposed to be another 6-man tag match with the Shield. And it was them versus 3 random jobbers. I have no clue who any of them were. But the match never really happened because the Shield just came in and beat the shit out of them. And they were cutting a promo. And then up on the video screen comes Corey Graves saying, "You guys think you run NXT? No, this is my playground," and all this blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, kid, you're by yourself. Pretty sure your partner's injured right now. And they've been pushing them in solo competition for a while now anyways. So... But whatever. I'm thinking, you can't take the Shield by yourself. It's 3-on-1. But then he's talking all this crap, and he says, "I'll take one of you on one-on-one next week on NXT." And Rollins, who there's been this big running thing with them because Graves apparently had 2 shots at the NXT title, and the Shield cost him the match both times. I think it was because the first time, it was actually probably both times, it was because Rollins was still holding the NXT title. But anyways, he's like, "You guys costed me the NXT title twice, it's time for me to get some payback." And so Rollins is like, "You know what? I'll take you on one-on-one." And he tells the other 2 guys in the Shield, "You guys got the night off, I can handle this chump." But, unbeknownst to the Shield, I think, Dusty Rhodes, who's the GM of NXT, he made it a lumberjack match. But anyways, so they get going with this match. And it was actually a pretty decent match. The Lumberjacks, again, a bunch of people I've never even seen before. Random jobbers, or just maybe not so well established, I guess. But basically the whole match, they kept throwing Rollins back into the ring because he kept kind of trying to roll out and escape and, whatever. But after 3-4 times of them doing this, out finally comes Ambrose and Reigns from the Shield to wipe out all of the Lumberjacks. And they did this pretty much freaking single-handedly. I mean, Reigns pretty much flatlined all of them. And while that was going on the outside, the referee was distracted by Rollins on the inside of the match, or on the inside of the ring, and Ambrose got up on the apron and clotheslined the hell out of Graves, knocking him the hell out, and allowing Rollins to recuperate, and then he hits his finisher, which has been the standing Shiranui, or the sliced bread, however you want to call it. He hits that on Graves and gets the win. Yeah. So there's probably going to be some more stuff with that going on. Don't know. Don't care. They also had announced that next week on SmackDown is going to be a big night because 4 different titles are being defended on NXT next week. And here's the stupidity to it. I think 3 of them are actual WWE titles. Caitlyn and AJ are supposed to go against each other for the Divas title on NXT. Why not put that on Raw or a SmackDown or save it for a pay-per-view? I don't know. And also, I think they had a mistake in their promo, or their video package for it, because they said that Wade Barrett would be defending... Or, no. Oh, yeah. Wade, yeah. Never mind. Wasn't a mistake. I just got confused. They said that Wade Barrett would be defending his Intercontinental Championship against... Oh, crap. Who the hell was it? I can't remember. I think it was either Kofi Kingston, which is weird because he's now the U.S. champion. It was either him or no, he's defending the Intercontinental title against Bo Dallas. And these two have gotten into it before. So, yeah, whatever. Also, in a very strange move, Big E Langston, who is actually the NXT champion, is defending that title against Brad Maddox, the guy who's hardly wrestled and is really a main character on, like, Raw. So I don't know why in the hell they're doing this. And then the 4th title was, I think, the U.S. title. I'm not sure. Yeah, the U.S. title was supposed to be defended, the Intercontinental title, the Divas title, and the NXT title. So I guess Kofi is going to be defending... I think they said that Kofi was going to be defending the U.S. title against Adrian Neville, who, formerly known as Pac, the man that gravity forgot. He's half of the NXT Tag Champions right now, and his partner is injured, so I don't know why they haven't had them forfeit the titles, since, I mean, unless the guy's going to be able to return to defend the tag belts before the 30-day defense clause, you know. You're supposed to defend the titles within 30 days, you know, so. But whatever. That's supposed to happen next week. So, again, not sure why they're doing the Divas match thing. They could save that for a pay-per-view, build it up good, make it worthwhile. I mean, Caitlyn and AJ can both, put on a good match. I doubt they're going to be stupid enough to have any of those titles actually change hands, but I can only imagine how weird it would be if AJ won the Divas title from Caitlyn, and then all of a sudden on Raw the next week, she just shows up with the Divas title, and they're like, well, how did that happen? And then they have to show a clip from NXT to say, oh yeah, this happened on NXT, our developmental program that nobody gets to watch because it's only played in, like, Florida. But yeah, so that's it for SmackDown. NXT. Actually, a lot of good matches I see on NXT. It's hilarious. So whatever, I guess that handles that. SmackDown wasn't really that good. NXT was a lot better, but again, you have to kind of fudge the system to watch NXT because, like I said, it's only really broadcast in Florida because they film it at the Full Sail University arena or something in Florida. And yeah, they've been doing that for a while now. Yeah. But yeah, so there's that, and SmackDown wasn't really all that great. We'll have to see how Raw goes on Monday. I'm not sure if I won't be watching Defiance. I probably will. I actually have the encore of Defiance playing on my TV right now. I'm kind of glancing at it over my shoulder. Anyways, that was SmackDown and NXT. Guess we'll have to, like I said, see how things go for Raw. And we will see you next time on the Wrestling Rant.